Hello friends, welcome to Tricks. Today in this video we will learn about Indian Council Act of 1909. In our constitutional development series, we have learned till Council Act of 1892. In my previous videos, I have provided the tricks to remember these acts. Please watch those videos. Also, don't forget to check our online prelims test series in which we are covering 2 years of current affairs and static portions through 180 tests. Link will be in the description. Coming to our Indian Council Act of 1909. Some background info will help in understanding the Act better. In 1905, Curzon announced the partition of Bengal in the name of better administration. This Bengal partition led to Swadeshi movement, and the differences over the Swadeshi movement, how to expand this movement, led to the split in the Congress, famously known as the Surat split, in which the moderates and extremists parted their ways. Moderates thought that council reforms are on their way, so it's better to wait for them. However, extremists wanted to expand the Swadeshi and boycott movement throughout the country. Meanwhile, in the Britain, in 1906, new liberal government came to power, which was sympathetic to the constitutional cause in India. This also strengthened the view of the moderates that it is better to wait for the council reforms. In 1906, we know Muslim League was formed, while in October, Aga Khan led a deputation and met Viceroy, also known as Shimla Deputation, and requested for separate representation. These were the factors which formed the background of Indian Council Act of 1909. Now coming to the main provisions of Indian Council Act, also known as Morley Minto reforms. First of all, the size of the legislative councils was increased both at the Imperial Legislative Council and the Provincial Legislative Council. While in the Imperial Legislative Council, the official majority continued. However, in the Provincial Legislative Council, non-official majority was allowed. But again, in this non-official majority also, number of members were nominated rather than elected. So in a way, official majority continued in the Provincial Legislative Council also. The Act also enlarged the deliberative functions of the legislative councils. We learnt in the 1892 Act that the Act allowed for asking questions, however, a prior notice was to be given. In this Act, the Legislative Council got the power to ask supplementary questions, pass resolutions, etc. For the first time, it provided association of Indian in the Executive Council of the Viceroy, and Satyendranath was the first Indian to be included in the Executive Council of Viceroy as the law member of the Executive Council. The most important reform brought by the Council Act of 1909 was a system of communal representation for Muslims was provided, also known as communal electorates, and that is why Lord Morley is known as the father of communal electorates. How this communal electorate was to work? In the Imperial Legislative Council, there were 68 members. In this 68 members, 36 were official and 32 were non-official. In this 32 non-official members, 27 were to be elected and 5 were to be nominated. And among these 27 elected members, 8 was reserved for the Muslim electorate, which means for these 8 seats, only Muslims could vote. So this was the communal electorate. Apart from separate representation for Muslims, it also provided separate representation for presidency corporations, chambers of commerce, universities and jamindars. This act also reduced the eligibility criteria for Muslim voters. As you know, during the British rule, voting was not based on universal adult franchisee. Rather, there were certain criteria for the voters which was based on income, education, etc. For Muslim, these criteria were also lowered. Income criteria was lower than the rest. So these were the important reforms brought by the Indian Council Act of 1909. Now to remember these reforms, I have made a simple trick. Imagine there is a big cricket match going on during the British rule, and since we are not free, lot of discrimination goes on. So imagine that situation, and we know that during matches some refreshments are provided to the players and other staff members. So the sentence is, big size of Mentos not officially provided to Indian executives. Separate seats were given to Muslims and Jamindars. Now Mentos are given as a refreshment to players and staff members, but there is discrimination. The Indians are given smaller Mentos. Big size of Mentos not officially provided to Indian executives. From Mentos you can remember that it is Morley Minto reform. Big size, it means the size of the legislative councils was increased. Not officially provided means non-official members were increased in the provincial council. From provided you can remember it is about provincial council. Not officially provided means non-official members in the provincial council was allowed. To Indian executives, in the Viceroy's executive council an Indian member was introduced. From this you can remember that Indian executives, executive council of Viceroy, Indian member was introduced. Separate seats were given to Muslims and Jamindars. Separate seats means separate representation to Muslims and Jamindars and other corporations, bodies, etc. So by this simple trick you can remember the important provisions of Indian Council Act of 1909. Hope you like this trick. I will be making similar videos. Don't forget to hit like button and subscribe to our channel, and also check out our prelims test series. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.